Hello, people of the interworld. I come to bring you my repaint of the Five Nights at Freddy's augmented reality, or FNAF AR as most people know it, Funko action figures, excuse me. They basically took those AR figures and repainted them to my liking. That's basically all I did, really. But I will say the process of painting them took a little bit longer than I thought it would. About 2 weeks, I'd say. I got these around Christmas and finished them up earlier this week or last week, I believe. Not good with dates, but all I know is that I finished them. I have 4 characters right in front of me, as you can see. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? I think the easiest one to start with would be Shadow Bonnie, because it is just, Toy Bonnie, but black. This one specifically just took me 2 days. One thing I will say though is I gave him his extra teeth that he has. That's one of the main differences, aside from being black, from Toy Bonnie, is that he has extra teeth. Amazing, isn't it? It is a little shiny, and I wish I went for a more of a matte finish kind of thing, because I don't think shadows can be shiny. But, what are you gonna do? There's his tail. Oh, yes. Quite good, I'd say. Why don't we move right along to another character? Let's say, Toy Bonnie, because why not? Toy Bonnie did take me a lot longer than I thought he would. But as you can see, I did my best. One thing I should have probably done was give him some black around these parts right here, under his eyeballs, because it looks kind of weird. I can see the eyeball, but it'll look a little weird in person. The paint I used for him specifically, of the Apple Baron brand, is a cool blue. So I think that's the color closest to Toy Bonnie, and the only pretty blue that I had around me. Most of my paints were from my mother, who is also kind of an artist that likes to do other projects as well. Whoop. Yeah, I painted his tail. His tail was a little difficult, because I'd slightly move this and white paint would chip right off of it. And as you'll start to notice with all of these, they all are shiny. How did I do that, you might ask? Now, any sane person might guess gloss varnish. Possibly. But I just used the gloss Mod Podge that I so happen to have under this big old table. Lucky me. Also, the shiny Mod Podge stinks. Maybe it's just with age, but I don't know. Anyway, really proud of how he turned out. This is really starting to show that I'm trying to improve my painting abilities. Whoopee. Next character, why don't we move right on along to Toy Chica. Yes. one day I would like to get another one, just so I can do the little thing that she does with her beak, where she tears it off and goes. There you go. Anyway, excuse me, that was a gurgle sound. Anyway, Toy Chica, as you can probably notice, is well, one thing that I would like to point out with this one, despite using multiple coats, because yellow is a horrible color to work with, admittedly, that I painted her Let's Party bib. It's not the best job, mind you, but, you know, I tried. Some, or at least one customizer that I know didn't even bother to do it. I mean, understandable, you know. Sometimes you just don't want to take risks with things, and, you know, it's understandable, you know. But I tried, and I did my best. Indeed. I also don't want to move any of them. I don't want to move them at all, because I'm afraid the paint will scuff. Sorry, I mean, please excuse me. I can sound a little scatterbrained when I'm not thinking clearly. You know how it is. I hope. Those are her shorts right there. Not as bad to work with as some other things, but, you know. I think she turned out just as well as I could have. Alright then. Last but most certainly not least, Mr. Fat Plastic Fingers himself, Mr. Epic Gamer, that loves to play the games, Frederick Fosboo, or Toy Freddy. I think there are some people that call him Frederick to differentiate him from the other Freddy Fazbears. Toy Freddy here. Another thing to note about Freddy is that he has these little freckles. Little minor annoyance painting along with toy bunnies, which you can see back there. I really tried to make these look as close to the FNAF 2 game as possible. Anyway, there is painted the red on his bow and hat. I do have his bow and buttons painted in, and his, for whatever reason, bottom colored buttocks. I don't know why it's like that. Oh boy. Also, another annoying thing to note, I don't know if I have mentioned this earlier, but the rings around these eyes were something else when it came to painting. I eventually got so annoyed that I cut up some brushes that I weren't using and turned them into fine tip brushes. I also got his microphone painted. As you can see, the paint is kind of scuffing off, because it's just what happens when you try to slot something in there. Oh well, you know, life ain't perfect. Scott. Yep. I'm pretty proud with how he turned out. Actually, I think he's one of my favorites. Something I have noticed is that he's smaller than the other toy animatronics. Odd. That's something you could probably do, or something I did at least. Just have his neck slightly up, just a little more above. So that way you won't notice, ever at all. I will not, as I said before, I will not move them or articulate them. These will basically remain as statues in my collection. I will move them whenever I feel like it. Glorious. That pretty much does it for my repaints. I did the best I could, and I think they turned out jolly old splendid. There are minor imperfections, but you know, as with life, nothing is perfect. Oh boy, I thank you all for potentially watching and sticking around. Not too in-depth, but, I know that, if you want to start painting action figures and you so happen to enjoy the toy animatronics design, why not give it a go? You never know unless you try, right? Here are the toy animatronics next to all of my other FNAF action figures that I have collected so far. You can see the sister location ones here. I remember getting those for my birthday. Also, a very recent tragic thing happened was one of my innards arm joint broke off, so I had to drill the hole and give him a replacement joint from a spare FNAF action figure that I wasn't using. It was an old Nightmare Foxy. And if I'll take you over here, we have the FNAF 3 and 4 section. With the Nightmare Cupcake, Freddle, and a stand-in for a plush trap. I'm hoping to get the one from McFarlane someday. There you go. Oh yeah, here's the Pixel Cupcake. Arcade Chica came with a puppet head and a balloon boy. Also stand-ins for potential figures one day. Back here I have the 3 Easter egg characters. Important to the story or not, they are mostly just Easter eggs. To me at least. Golden Freddy, Lulled, of course. Possibly the rarest figure in my collection, because it was a Walgreens exclusive. Also, Shadow Bonnie right in the middle. I also don't want the painted ones touching any of the other ones, because I don't want any of them to stick to each other. Now we can move on right here to the security breach VR section, kinda. They are slowly corrupting the series with the beloved ones. Vanny right here with her knife. Glitch Trap just doing his regular thing. Anyway, here we have the main 4 animatronics right here. Foxy back there. Bonnie with his guitar, Freddy. Of course, Chica. Also, Freddy looks Freddy's really hungry for that cupcake. Might be wondering, if you care, I got the Nightmare Cupcake from a pencil that was given to me. This is my current FNAF collection of action figures. I don't think I've ever done a FNAF action figure collection video, so this is the best you're probably going to get out of me. Anyway, I thank you all for enjoying and taking care of yourselves, and I'll see you one day again.